Gen V Episode 5 is just around the corner, and with Dean Cipher showing his true intentions and revealing glimpses of his powers in the most recent episode, the direction that this season is going in was shown to us just a little bit more. Titled The Kids Are Not Alright, this episode is most definitely going to follow on with revealing more about Cipher, whilst also addressing the secret man in the chamber, the division forming amongst the group because Cipher's going to be orchestrating it, and also the Starlighters versus the Soup Supremacists on campus. So with that, I thought I'd share my theories and predictions on what I think will happen next. Here is Gen V Season 2 Episode 5 Theories Explained. Just to let you know, this video will contain spoilers. What's going on with Dean Cipher? Well, one of Dean Cipher's powers was revealed to us in the most recent episode, and it seems like he's able to act as a puppet master and control the people that are around him, as we saw when he took over the likes of Jordan when they were facing off against Marie, getting Marie to push her powers to the limit and show her true potential. I think within this next episode we're going to see his powers being revealed to us a little bit more, and the connection to his father, the man in the chamber, is going to have a wider purpose. We know that this man is his father, but I'm on the side of believing that this person is going to be revealed to be none other than Thomas Godolkin, and Dean Cipher could well be his son. I think Cipher is working with Marie and grooming her into believing that she can be the most powerful Soup because he wants to use her blood-bending abilities to be able to almost bring Godolkin back and allow him to exist outside of this chamber. If Godolkin was successful in creating this amplified version of Compound V, I wonder if that's something that was given to Cipher, and that's why Marie wasn't able to detect the V inside of his blood when she saw the blood running through his system. Maybe it's not as easy to detect because she didn't know what she was truly looking for, hence why he might also have multiple powers. The line that Cipher said, which was focused on Marie being able to perform miracles if she was able to move the blood from one side of the table to the other, is something that's really stuck with me. And I think that could be what's going to connect to the man in the vault, because she might well be able to perform some kind of miracle on him. Or there's the whole theory about Marie being able to render a Soup useless because she may be able to separate the V from the blood in a Soup system. I do also wonder if Marie being the sole surviving member of Project Odessa and her being the reason that the school was essentially created to make Soups like her, if Cipher's intention of grooming her is to ultimately end up using her as a way of being able to multiply this successful V. There's way more to Cipher than what meets the eye at the moment, and I think the kindness that he's showing to Marie is all a front for now. We saw how he was with Cate, and I think that behaviour could well be getting to Marie soon. Who is the man in the chamber? One theory that's been floating around at the moment, and I think could well be the case, is that the man in the chamber is actually controlling Cipher, and he's able to do this because the power that he has is similar to the one that Dean Cipher exhibited. One which enabled him to act like a puppet master, so Cipher is almost like a decoy. Spoilers ahead for Foundation Season 3, so if you've not watched it yet, then skip ahead to this timestamp. This is similar to how the Mule was in the most recent season of Foundation, and also in the novels, projecting as somebody else when in reality somebody else was pulling the strings, allowing their identity to be concealed. If this is Thomas Godolkin, the whole idea of relaunching Project Odessa would be something that I'd understand, because it would almost be like unfinished business for him, especially if there was one surviving member the last time that it ran, which was Marie. It's his school after all, so the idea of making these amplified Soups would make complete sense. A way of almost fighting back against dictators like Homelander. Project Odessa was also referred to as a weapon that Homelander would be able to use if he got his hands on it, so it's all about who ends up leading it. Another theory about this person is that it could still be Godolkin, but he might not have those projecting powers, which would just mean that Cipher may well want to follow in his father's footsteps and continue his legacy of creating these stronger Soups. That could be why he's got a vetted interest in it, especially seeing as though he was once involved in the project when Marie was born. I do kinda hope that Cipher's father is utilizing his son as a host, and that when Cipher was a child he wasn't truly loved by his father because he was more interested in his work. Ultimately using his son as a way of moving around and continuing his work when he became unwell, showing Godolkin prioritized work over family, and Cipher could have ended up with a complex. Marie and Jordan. Marie's arc is one that I feel could go in one of two directions in the next episode. The first is that I think after experiencing that level of power for the first time in her life, she could potentially be hungry to unlock more of those abilities. She's never exhibited it to that level before, and it might be something that she got a taste of. Cipher has quite literally told her that she has the potential to be stronger than Homelander, And with the way that The Boys is going, with Homelander literally looking to rule the country, somebody is going to need to be able to match his powers, and that could end up being Marie. Whilst it feels like Marie could end up falling for the compliments that he's giving her, I think she's going to be one step ahead and will look to improve on her powers, but ultimately end up using them against Cipher. She has her head screwed on, and at her core she's a starlighter and believes in good. So even though Cipher almost had her kill Jordan, I think she'll be able to control them after learning how to improve them. As much as she'll have an appetite for those enhanced powers, I do think she'll be fearful of them. I think her coming close to killing Jordan will almost transport her mind back to the place where it was when she killed her mother and father, two other people that she loved. I still think that the hunt for her sister is something that'll be at her core, and I think Cipher is going to have something to do with reuniting them in some way. Maybe Cipher knows her location, and when Marie is drifting from Cipher, he might use that as leverage to be able to get her back on the side that he wants her on. Could she end up being a test subject for Odessa? We don't truly know where she is, so I wonder if Vought or Godolkin has her held somewhere because they know that they're going to need her as leverage to use over Marie. With regards to Jordan, I think there's a very high chance that they could die in this season of the show. I thought it was going to happen in the most recent episode. The conversation between Jordan and Marie was something that felt very final, and the whole mindset that Jordan has of not liking being booed and it reminding them of the nightmare that they had when they were younger when everybody was staring and pointing at them, now meaning that they're literally in a living nightmare. I wonder if they're going to enter a dark place in their mind. Jordan seems like somebody that's going to struggle being on their own, and with Marie working with Cipher more and more, we could see Jordan slip into the background and start to struggle. The whole love arc between them also has me thinking that Jordan might end up sacrificing themselves when it comes to saving Marie, and that love will be something that's their legacy. Cate. Cate is in an interesting position at the moment because her powers are useless. She tried to manipulate and expose Cipher and she ultimately failed in the process, meaning that she's pretty much like a human at the moment, something that No Soup wants. We saw the hold that Cipher had over her in the first 3 episodes when he threatened to blend up her arm, then also in the most recent episode where he said to her that she had to know her place otherwise she'd be gone. I think she could have potentially jeopardized her position in the school and she might end up excluded for now. However, I don't think that will take her out of the story. I think that could well lead her to investigate more into the likes of Cipher and do some more digging into Odessa, Elmira, and she'll be able to do it whilst essentially working in the shadows. Her relationship with the likes of Jordan is stronger, following them reminiscing and apologizing to each other, so I don't think there's any chance of betrayal from Cate, not now, especially after Cipher has shown that he's not going to be valuing her anymore. Sam. Now, we didn't see Sam at all in the most recent episode, and I think that was deliberately done for a reason. I think when he returns, we're going to see his mental state all over the place. It was like that when we last saw him. However, with us not seeing him at all in episode 4, I think he's going to have been off somewhere struggling. We know that Cate was mellowing his mind with her powers, and with her being unable to do that, his mind could have spiraled even more, and the guilt that he had over the slaughtering that took place at Godolkin and the weight of responsibility that he might feel for Andre's death is something that'll be plaguing his mind. Unlike Cate, he's struggling to live with the guilt and coming to terms with what he did. So I think we'll see him going on a journey of learning to accept what he did to all of those people and maybe being a changed character. We saw him speak of not being able to go home when he was in conversation with Jordan, but it does make me wonder if we're going to see him visiting his mother in the upcoming episodes to give him a sense of grounding and see what his actual family life is like. For now, this is the direction that I think the next episode of the show could go in. The repercussions from the fight is going to sink Jordan lower and lower down the rankings, and Marie is going to ascend that top spot as she looks to battle not only the attention that she's getting, but the enhanced powers that we're also going to see her having too. So, there you have it, Gen V Season 2 Episode 5 Theories Explained.